Disruptor coming out. Another annoying tool with the clips. Good to force out snowballs. Also Pango, Swashbuckle still moving out. You can also even force his ulti off. Some good things. Because these are not like natural BKB builders unless Tusk is like a core. And we're talking like position 2 core. You have to use your abilities instead of items. So you don't counter the hero by items. You have to use your natural skill pool or ability pool, basically. And that will definitely feel a bit awkward, especially if you have to use an ult against the basic abilities. Something you don't want to do. But it does allow you to save yourself. And here we have a very standard semi-neutral type of hero into what we have on the field right now. We have the Lich. This will soak up a lot of damage the Leshrac deals, for sure. And any target that gets hit by the Nyx Assassin stun gets to live a little bit longer.
True, but there's not a lot of physical damage.
But there's not a lot of physical damage, exactly. So it's kind of like, it feels like a semi-neutral pick. It does some good things, but those good things that he's usually good against aren't on the field yet.
I guess you get a carry now that actually struggles against heroes like a Slardar or something along those lines. So maybe that's the reason for a Lich. You get now a hero and you dissuade the potential counter, like we see an anti-mage, for example. Would be awesome.
Lich. Wow, that is one of the drafts that actually froze me back all the way to 2018. My fellow Finnish colleagues back in Helsinki Reds used to play. You remember the old Sacrifice Lich? They played duo mid, anti-mage, Lich mid, and they would dominate with it.
And I played against Helsinki Reds. One of my friends was their coach as well. But I remember they played anti-mage. I just don't remember the Lich at that point. But either way, we throw it away. They go for the Naga Siren. You have the Pango, as we mentioned, so it is somewhat of a counter to the Naga Ursa with the Battle Fury. Not that great either way. So a really solid Naga pick overall. Again, Lich ulti now even has less value because of all the illusions. So I'm thinking this is a pretty good one from XERXIA. They've adjusted properly from the last game.
Yeah, we just need a RTC Battle Fury Ursa to play against the Naga Siren. That's all we really need here. Ursa really good in a way against the Naga, considering that your Fury swipes are very good at locating the right target. Same thing goes with like Phantom Lancers. You can easily find them after the Doppelganger, which one is the right target. With the Naga, the illusions still take a hefty amount of damage. Plus, you can use Enrage to break the web. You might even consider Aghanims at some point in the game. I just think Aghanim's Ursa is really, really darn good.
It is for sure. In this game in particular, though, not so much. You're up against the Disruptor. So, you will usually get it if there's like multiple stuns that you're afraid of, but if there's a silence to be over them, and that's always going to be the case, the Aghanims in particular isn't going to be that great. So, even if it drops from the Roche, I think Pango would be the one for Unity Gaming to give it to.
I'm not sure which ability, but with Ursa, there's a pretty interesting interaction. So we know the Ursa Shard, which grants you Enrage when you Earthshock. It's not the same Enrage as your ulti Enrage, which feels weird, because some abilities which get dispelled by using Enrage as a casted ability, like, say, you're webbed, you will remove it. I'm not sure, is it the Naga web, or is it something else? When you use Earthshock while you're webbed, it doesn't dispel it. So, there's 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 abilities in the game that will prevent the Ursa from actually getting away, hence why I think the Aghanims would be a worthwhile investment towards like at least the later parts of the game. Obviously, never build it first item. Very rarely second item. Maybe consider it as a third if things are going well and you just want to secure that they won't be able to kill you ever again. So it's a very weird interaction, but I've ran into this a couple times now, and it's like, why isn't the Earthshock Enrage through the Shard the same as actually casting his ulti Enrage? So I guess
because it would be OP.
It would be OP, I guess. I mean, I don't know what it is, but still.
Legion Commander.
Legion Commander. We have ourselves a Heart Dispel. We have ourselves some Lockdown. Great for Disruptor. Great against the Leshrac. Won't be able to pump up those Novas. Awesome against the Naga. The laning matchup is good. This is a very good Unity draft. I love this. I really like this Unity draft. Like, if I say this team loses with this draft, I'm going to bang my head through this table so that I don't have a table anymore, because I feel this is a really good draft. XERXIA with the Ember.
Choose your hero.
Not the greatest of Ember games, I have to say. Yeah, I don't like XERXIA's last pick. I like their first 4 heroes, but in terms of last picks, I think Unity Gaming takes it. I think with this Legion Commander, you completely destroyed the safe lane. Jaja and Asta don't do anything, literally anything to the Legion Commander. This allows the Tusk to have free reign around the map, rotated wherever you want, and that's gonna make it very tough on the Lesh in particular. If Salad is allowed from like minute 4 or 5 to just go around the map and LC is still dominating the lane, that means the Trupido and the Nyx Assassin are gonna be in a lot of trouble. Plus, you're gonna be securing all the runes from the for the Pango, pretty much something that that happened in the last game as well, where Knight also got all of the runes. But that time around, he was playing the Tusk. So yeah, I agree with you. Unity Gaming's draft here, it looks really good.
And it's really fun to play as well. Like, I there's so many ways of both initiating, using the map for your control. The mobility is good in this team. You have potential Blink Dagger builders in your team. Good ultis all around. Not too many long cooldowns in your team. I think your maximum's looking at like 80 seconds, 70 seconds. Maybe the Lich ulti is the longest one, but that's still not, like, even if you don't have it, it's not a huge loss. He's still there for the taunt, which is great.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Again, XERXIA are again gonna be playing off of vision. I think if they play this game perfectly on XERXIA, they can win. But they don't have room for mistakes like last time where they played the wrong side of the map for a couple of minutes. That cannot happen here. You need to starve out the enemy supports with the sentries. You need to push in the towers with the Lesh. You need to be able to push out lanes with the Nagasari and then play off of the glimpses. That's what needs to happen. I'm just not sure it works that well, considering you're up against the Legion Commander that will have a perfect lane. If you have a good lane with the LC, if you get the first couple of duels going your way, then you'll be able to pretty much solo kill anyone on the map, and that will be the biggest problem for XERXIA in my mind.
I'll take that.
Let's roll out our setup for this mid lane before the bounties have spawned. As you can see that they have mirrored the obs wards again, except a bit of a deeper obs ward this time. Maybe a bit more unpredictable as well from the side of Unity here on this this ledge right here.
You want to see the runes. The runes are very, very important in this game. Ember Spirit, he needs, like, the first rune maybe not so much, but the second and the third are gonna be very important. And if somehow you stop him from getting some of the water runes so that he can start losing HP and then in levels, then maybe not even those power runes are gonna help him later on. So that's why you've placed that ward to just see the next rotations and make sure that that Knight, even if he's not getting the water runes, that he's not taking any significant damage.
Here we go. We get our laning stage underway with Knight and Ken up against each other's different heroes. Different type of matchup. Both have pretty solid, stable heroes to rotate from, as well as he hit those level 6s, level 7s. And you got some good kill potential. Actually, you have, on Unity's side, every lane's a kill lane.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it is. On XERXIA, not so much really.
Not so much, but at least maybe they can get the stun to connect onto MKS. That could have been first blood for Rapido. See what he can get with this off-lane Lesh. Matchups usually a tad bit different.
I mean, Leshnik's lane is a classic, and it is a lane that can threaten the life of the Ursa. I'm actually surprised MKS started off with the Fury swipes. I expected the Urchuk there just for for extra creep security and also being able to dodge these stuns.
Mainly thanks to what's going off at the top lane. We actually have 4 1v1s going on. Sorry, 3 1v1s. What am I saying?
Yeah, Zhao Yu, he doesn't care how this how the lane is positioned. He's always gonna have a good time here. With the overwhelming odds, as soon as you see the mirror image, they are gone.
Oh, they actually did get first blood in the bot lane. Very long distance too. I mean, there was no Ursa nearby. There was Lich probably just right-clicking away. As Nyx dies inside the tower range. So, first blood for Unity. Off to a good start, even though the Ursa is missing out on some CS.
This is the thing about the Nyx. He hates heroes that can kill him from under to 0. And another reason why maybe the Lich got picked up, because Nyx Assassin level 1 is very weak and the Lich level 1 is very, very strong. So you went with that idea that you're gonna be able to pressure him and possibly kill him until he gets the spike carry pace. And even when he does, with multiple slows, it's kind of the worst thing for the Nyx. He gets slowed down, he's running away, you want to use the spike carry pace, you do, and then the enemies can literally run circles around you and kill you. Here, they really need to do that because no spike carry pace obviously just yet.
Got our player also back on the server. Get ourselves underway once again. What do you think about Roshan contesting on the side of XERXIA? Because I know Unity would love to look at the first Roshan at some point. But how soon? And do they want to risk the second Roshan being timed somewhere around where XERXIA's Leshrac, Ember are both at their, well, I wouldn't say strongest, but really strong. So, how do you see Roshan being approached this game in the eyes of Unity? And XERXIA being able to contest, so it's a two-part question.
You approach the Roche by getting this mid lane tower. I think the biggest contests are gonna be around the mid lane tower of XERXIA. If it falls, then it's much easier for Unity to control that one. You're up against the Nyx Assassin, so with a couple of sentries, you're completely fine. Of course, you have to be careful of the Naga Siren, but if that mid lane tower does not fall, Unity Gaming aren't getting the Roches, so there's gonna be a lot of brawling around that one.
For sure. At least getting information, even if it's not fully being taken by Unity. Versus movements, deep vision. Xiaoyu also looking at his skill build so far is just 1-1-1. Has that 1 point in overwhelming odds. And going for the Falcon Blade, which seems to be a very popular item these days. Glimpse onto Xiaoyu. He does have mana for a teleport now. And a mango also in his inventory, but he's just going to walk straight back in. Throw in another nuke and actually attempt to kill Disruptor. Walking back in 100 HP, and it might just work out. It will. The confidence on Xiaoyu. And it pays off. I absolutely love it. There's like, are you actually even gonna kill me? I have like 120 HP. But what are you gonna do? You already used all of your spells. I'm just gonna go in.
Yeah, Naga Siren is not a problem for DLC. They're going for
and
it
another
again.
attack team. They just got enough cooldown. Snowball in. Glimpse comes out, and that will defuse the situation. Maybe even get Salad as a return. Oh, you thought wrong. Overwhelming odds to the rescue, and Salad's like, I'm gonna take this through all the way to the end. That one mango saves the day.
Yep, and LC, this is the strength of the hero against the Naga Siren in the lane. I think it's possibly the best lane. Is the possibly best lane for him.
Pretty sure this Nyx is dead. Now with the Frost Shield, that should definitely do the trick. MKS walks right next up to him, waves his arm into the air. No high five. 4-0 for Unity.
I'm actually surprised the Nyx didn't start this lane off with the boots. I think that was probably the way to go. You get the boots, you try to kite, you get the Lich onto yourself, you eat a couple of Frost Blasts, you heal yourself up, and then you go again and again.
And one thing I actually agree with here is like this Nyx Assassin, he's upgraded his wand without building brown boots in between. And I think that's always, it feels like a bit of a mistake in some matchups where you could just live off with a stick, maybe even a windlace, but upgrading wand before boots, at least in the eyes of a lot of support players, feels like it's not worth it. These boots just give so much survivability. And for Rapido, lands a stun on top of his feet, hoping that MKS would land in it, but that is a no. But he will still die to the tower. LW will finish off Rapido before MKS dies, so he's not at least deprived of gold and experience. But nice Nick stun into tower aggro. That works.
Perfect timing. You know, if he had boots there, he would have come earlier, and then the Ursa wouldn't dive that much. So you see, Panda.
Calculated, of course. If you see into the future, you gotta be a bit of a Nostradamus when you're playing support. You gotta see from afar how is this gonna end up for us. And Jaja getting killed in the river. Ken taking a battle versus Knight, and Salad Knight has to do a bit of juking moves here. He does have a swashbuckle available. Oh, 15 HP, but the Remnant will kill him as Ken knew exactly what he's doing. Secures it.
Laning phase is going really well for the Ember here against the Pango. This is the thing, that you can't really break the Flame Guard that easily as the Pango, so it's allowing Ken to farm better in the lane. And then with just a couple of denies, you have more levels than your enemy counterpart.
Yep.
So Ken doing that one quite nicely, and that advantage in levels allowing him to be the stronger one.
Ursa might be in trouble here with Rapido just bombarding with spells. He's got 9 stick charges. Knight respawn for the rotation and teleports for nothing. Now we also got a counter rotation coming towards the top lane with the Ember Spirit in action. Xiaoyu does get glimpsed back to the lane. Don't have any ways to lock him down. No chains. Neither do they have the damage to kill him on the spot.
Ken won the mid lane so much, and he understands that his side lanes need help. They need a lot of help. So the one you're going for is the LC. Though I think he might be a little bit too optimistic, thinking that he can kill that hero, especially without the chains. Even with them, the press the attack is a spell you don't do well against. On the bottom lane, he would do much more if he would kill the Ursa over and over again and open up the tower for his team.
Ken is really bullying Knight here, and Jaja also comes in and with the glimpse able to cancel one charge, won't be able to. Oh,
he's
stuck for a moment there. Rapido gets killed off in the bot lane. Jing looking for the teleport away, but the chains from LW will make sure that there's no escape for him. Pango even wanted a piece of that action, rolls away from that mid gank straight towards the ongoing fight. Salad and LW, can they get the action rune? It's on the top half, and this will be an Ember Spirit in trouble, able to get the jumps out with the Remnants, as he barely had the mana for it. But it's a run to the finish line. Shard will not block access for the Ember Spirit to grab it, and he finds a kill on the way. So very happy Ken. Gets even better for him. Survive, dodges again, gets the action rune, gets a kill.
He wants to be fighting anywhere, just not close to the LC. And wherever it is, Ken will be completely fine. The lockdown potential of Unity Gaming just isn't there. And the heroes have no defensive capabilities against the Ember in particular.
Love the aggression that Ken is applying here. There's already 3 heroes from Unity in the mid lane. But this Ember Spirit is really doing some heavy lifting early on. We'll find the glimpse onto the Lich, but it won't really do enough damage. Tries to slow him down with the Frost Shield. Not quite gonna connect. Just a bit too far away. Now with the Ember Spirit, he does have his Remnant to jump away to. Drops another, teleports home. Bottle refill. Well, Xiaoyu putting some pressure onto Asta and that top lane. Ember, who has already returned back in, turns his attention towards Salad. There's a lot of backup coming in from both sides. Hodge is also there. Jing is also there. He will finish off the support Tusk for sure. Just right-clicking away. Ken will take it with the Slate. That's another one for the Ember.
They're still not slowing down the Ursa or the LC. And at some point, this LC will be hunting down the Ember. We can see that Xiaoyu is focusing on the Blink Dagger.
They want to have both Pango and the LC basically just focus the Ember down. Like either one. If you have a Blink Dagger at some point for the Pango, well, this Diffusal is already really good because the Ember Spirit is going to have difficulties with those Remnants. Like you get hit by it if you cast Remnant right after and you don't have an active one. There's no escape for several seconds basically for you. You just can't get enough distance against the Pangolier, who did actually just use Rolling Thunder to get away.
I'm expecting this rotation towards the bottom lane from XERXIA. I'm thinking it's gonna happen once you have level 6s on your supports, and up until that point, you're just gonna continue forcing down this mid lane. It's allowing the Lesh to get some more levels. With more points in Diabolic Edict, pushing down the towers will be important. One good way to stop your enemies from getting the tower is to get the same tower yourself.
Yep, or just bring more manpower. Like they are doing on the side of Unity. They bring 4 heroes towards mid to get the first duel victory as well for Xiaoyu. Can keep an LW away. Knight is also there. Nice barrage there from the Swashbuckle. Ken, though, seems to be quite fine, and he has that active remnant, so back to base we go. Another teleport for regen.
Ember is gonna have some big mana problems in this game. That's why he's really pushing the issue right now before the diffusal comes out. Once there's a diffusal plus the Sinister Gaze, the mana problems on Ember are gonna be even more apparent.
The big difference here, though, is even if Ember is having a great game, the Pango barely has one. He's 3,300 in net worth and hasn't been able to score much, as while Ken has been able to go back home and straight back to the mid lane. The Pango has just been sitting there bombarding more and more Swashbuckles with an empty bottle.
Yeah, he can't do much, but it's still a Pango. Even without a lot of farm, the hero does contribute quite a lot in this game. You're up against the Naga Siren, protecting your supports is going to be enough.
He is falling behind his item timings, though, which does suck for him a bit. But now, when they've got so many heroes around the area, and still Knight, I think he hesitated there for a bit. He wanted to time it with the Lich. Instead, he misses and sleeps past his chances. But it doesn't matter, because in the end, the result is still going to be the same. Xiaoyu also took a tower in the top lane as the Legion Commander surrounded by enemies. And here comes MKS, tries to salvage the situation. Naga dropping low. Song has already been used, and he doesn't have much of an escape tool anymore. Overpower. Look at those stacks. 8 already of Fury swipes. Naga, the next hit should finish him off. MKS gonna get stunned up once again, and there we go. He clears him out. Jinx gonna be on the other side. Judge also gonna be hunted down by Salad with his tag team. And look at this disruptor go. He gone. And Jing to be the last one hunted down. MKS, he's holding onto his stick charges. No need to use them here. Vendetta has been popped. Sentry down. And there we go. Supports to the rescue, even though it was MKS to arrive first. And now a duel in the mid lane as well. Can they get the duel victory on Ken? No, they cannot, but it's a close attempt.
Knight didn't time the Swashbuckle nicely there. If he did, Ken maybe would have died. Now, he had the magic once, but still, he only got like 1 or 2 Swashbuckle hits instead of all 4. Still, this is perfect for Unity Gaming. They might have lost the bottom tier 1, but that one doesn't matter that much. As long as you're keeping the mid lane tower intact, and now you're controlling the top part of the map, it's gonna be easy to control that area. And if the tower stays alive, it gives you more chances to get the enemy mid lane tower down as well.
Unity with a 14-5 scoreline. Even though the net worth is only 1,000 gold towards their direction, that is going to change unless XERXIA is able to fight back. And with the blink duel from the smoke, Ken gets surprised. He already drops down his remnant, reveals his werebeings, making it an easy duel victory for the LC. Now up to 14.
He has a buyback on the Ember.
Go for it. They've got a Disruptor ulti catching Knight. This could be a good time to buy back if he wants to join the fray. Tusk to get stunned. Diabolic Edict doing some work. That's a level 4. It hurts a lot. Salad to fall almost. Gets the Wolverine punch out. And Knight and Salad both gone. And Xiaoyu has to make a run for it. No Ember needed by the looks of it. That's a 3rd kill. And this is going to be the 4th one. And XERXIA, maybe 2 seconds before this fight broke loose, I was about to say Unity is going to get away unless XERXIA can do something about it, and they did.
All of their spells connected badly on the side of Unity. That is what that's why they got absolutely demolished there. The Tusk wanted to save his buddy with the snowball there, and he walks into the next assassin stun. Then you want to go with the snowball, you don't get to the high ground, you just get left on the low ground and you can't do anything. And then the rest is history. The Ember didn't need to buy back, but he could have. I think Unity Gaming should have been content with just getting a kill there and protecting their tower, but they wanted more, and then a couple of missed spells is gonna cost them so much.
Did you know, Harry? History is not written by winners. History is written by those who own a functionable pen. Asta getting initiated on with the duel. It's going to be enough to lock him down. The song already spent as well, but the Pango doesn't care. The Rolling Thunder makes a lot more noise than the song does, so some kind of construction worker Pango is like he's already half deaf. He doesn't even hear the siren song. Ken and Jaja though setting off for MKS. This could be a good one. Disruptor ulti right on top. That's already almost half the damage being bursted through. Jaja, Rupiter coming in with the cancel on the teleport and full duration. No enrage coming through.
They even had the glimpse, so there was no chance for Yersa to get out of that one there.
Big kill. Big kill.
Really big, especially because this is the part where he wanted to connect with his team.
Naga TPing mid. Huge stun from Jing. Catching two Snowball. They're going to be grabbing some of their allies on the way straight to Jaja with the duel. And that is another one for the LC. Make it count. LW does get killed off by Asta, so it's a support for support. Make that another support kill. So 2 supports for 1 plus the duel victory. And a lot of rotations toward mid.
That almost ended up in a complete disaster for Unity Gaming. A beautiful stun from the Nyx, but that snowball save is pretty much what kept them in it. In the end, you lose 2 supports, you gain 1, but the duel damage is the big thing. LC, we talked about it with a couple of early duel victories. The split push potential, the lane out push, and division type gameplay that XERXIA wants to go around all falls down the drain if the Legion commander can just duel someone and kill them from 100 to 0 all on his own.
And so that 15-4 scoreline is now turned to 17-12. XERXIA pulling off some of their own perks at the same as another duel takes place on the Disruptor. Up to 74 and Xiaoyu under 20 minutes. He got 74 duel damage on this dude, Harry.
Yep. Too much. Too much.
Too much.
You get a blade mail, and you start killing everyone. The Ember Spirit will be dying. You can see that Ken is going for a Linken's. He knows what's up. It's not about the BKB. You have to have a Linken's in this game or you're just a goner.
I wonder what he will do further on. We have a Halberd on the Lesh. Talked about the Halberd on a Puck, which we would not see. At least we get to see it on the Leshrac. Pretty good game to have it.
He's itemizing against the Ursa, the Yule, and the Evans Halberd. He wants to keep him at bay.
Yeah, and also keep himself alive a bit longer with the evasion.
Yep.
There's a lot of physical damage. There's technically only physical damage on the Son of Unity, so all these Halberds, Butterflies, force out MKBs on the opponent's side, these are useful tools. If we're gonna see more, maybe one on the Ember. He is focusing on the Lincoln Sphere for now. And a smoke on smoke action. This time, the full 5-man squad. Locate Jaja. Salad goes for the stun. And there's the duel. And yet another. Make that 102. This LC is big.
They have a buyback on the Disruptor. They should be able to fight this Roche, and they're most definitely going to be doing it.
Will he be able to force out? And this is exactly what we talked about. And you're absolutely correct. And XERXIA, yeah, I thought so too. Not like they're gonna start taking Roshan for themselves. They're contesting, making sure that this Roshan advantage doesn't fall in the arms of Unity.
For Unity, it needs to be smoke into kill into a mid lane tower, or smoke into a big team fight win, then you can take the Roche. You cannot get the Roche until that tower is dead with just a smoke pick off into walking into the pit, and they're aware of it. The second they saw that the Roche wasn't going down fast enough and heroes were missing off the map, they get themselves out, knowing that the enemies can always connect from the mid lane tower. It's just too hard for them to get it, and they're probably very much annoyed with that right now.
Yeah. They're pinging the Ember's location in bottom. They're ready to go for it. They force out his Remnant, while a smoke gank is about to take place. LW sitting in mid, but that's not the target they want. Killed the Ursa, maybe? Killed 3 heroes when they're stacked up, maybe, if they have the vision for it. Oh, Tusk is actually going to walk into a trap, but LC on the side, looking for the target to jump onto. He finally finds at least a blink in, but no target to, and finally gets the duel off onto the Leshrac, and it will be successful. The song actually allows Unity to reset, XERXIA to reposition. Lich gonna get caught in the back lines. That's a level 9 support trying to keep him away. Asta's been killed by the Ursa.
Yep.
What happened to the Naga?
Destroyed. That's a big team fight win. That's them going into the
That's
Roche.
massive.
There is no song. Yep, there's no song. It's over. The Roche is gone. Even with you having the that mid lane tower, there's nothing they can do about this one right now. Even if they bring any more heroes there, they're just gonna be dying.
And so be it. That Ursa is granted a second life. Big loss for XERXIA here. They know that that was one of their worst case scenarios that could happen. That they lose a team fight into losing Roshan. It's a big advantage to give away, and Jaja is gonna be here. Ursa also teleporting to help out Salad. Salad could almost solo kill this guy, but MKS, he wants a piece of it.
And the big thing is the BKBs are gonna come out. First, you have 5 minutes. Okay,
And dual mid.
Mid.
Yeah, that's not gonna be successful.
But help is coming.
Yep. A lot of it as well, in the form of MKS and Jia Yu. You have a lot of power, a lot of damage. Tower down into the Lesh kill.
Yeah, I think LC didn't respect the status resistance of the halberd. Something that you just don't expect to see from a Lesh. Usually we see those bloodstones, but
Yep.
The lockdown just wasn't long enough. Still, as I mentioned, now you have Aegis. That's 5 minutes that you're gonna be the strongest team on the map. Then you have a BKB on Ursa, which is already up, but he's probably not gonna be using it. You're gonna have the BKB on the LC once the Aegis is out, and that will create another 3 to 5 minutes of time for you to get the second Roche and win the game. XERXIA, they have to get something big done on the map right now. That's why you have the Orchid on the Naga Siren, because you have to get those pickoffs. If you don't, you can't play this game. You're just gonna lose it in 10 minutes.
Choking out the map. Unity pushing in their advantage with that Aegis. Xia Yu already has the top wave pushed in. 130 dual damage. LC having a lot of fun this game. MKS, Ursa, 7-2 and 4. Basher getting closer, as already touched upon. Salad and Knight, they're feeling very comfortable that we can just spread out just the two of us, instead of bringing more people for any potential kills that we can find.
Look at Zhao Yu, who is hunting on the bottom lane. He has good vision there as well.
And there he goes, but he's just $1 short.
Lincoln's was there anyway, so that wouldn't have worked out anyways.
At least he would have gotten the information on it that he does have Lincoln's. Not sure if he saw it. Probably did. Still blinked in. At least for the bait.
It's very tough for XERXIA right now. Their lineup relies on division given by the Nyx Assassin, and currently they're the ones on the back foot of the division by a very huge margin on the map. Even though it's only 2k gold, Unity are in complete control.
Yes, he's taking a hefty amount of damage here. He doesn't really have a lot of lifesteal. Ember found, and the fear is there. MKS is gonna die to the Flame Guard, and the Snowball not gonna land on time. They couldn't lock down Ken. If they did, they would have had a small chance of actually getting him while MKS was respawning, but that's an Aegis gone, and a tower taken from the bottom lane.
Unity forcing things out a little bit more than I expected. Losing the Aegis there is not ideal for them. It still would have had a minute and a half there, allowing them to potentially fight the bottom part of the map. Now it's a little bit tougher to do.
Yeah. If you look at the Naga situation currently, not too far off of building the heart. Naga is going to be very bulky to deal, but what were you saying?
Butterfly is your big timing. Heart is just to allow your illusions to survive and farm a bit better.
Here's the bigger item. We're going to find a casual disruptor. Not worthy of a dual target anymore for Xia Yu. He's already got a lot of dual damage.
You want something more. Look at, he's going for an Octarine. Would be really cool to see a duel from like 400 range. It's actually insane.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. I think I've tried it a couple times, and it is a crazy cast range. You can cast it from like low ground to high ground. A huge gap in between. Tango gonna go for the jump onto Jing, but able to dodge the stun thanks to Salad with the Blink Snowball save. They've got the silence and the web on top of Tusk and Salad to fall. Maybe even more as they've looked the Naga Siren and locked them down. And Rapido killed by MKS for another duel victory. This one for Xiaoyu at 158. And this LC is just unstoppable, but so seems like this Naga is found to be a mere mortal.
Yep. The second they see him, he dies. He didn't get his heart delivered just yet, but I don't think it would have changed much. He would still die from 2 more hits from the Ursa. So much damage was being done to him there, and the Rolling Thunder was still out, so he wasn't really going to be getting his song off.
Things are going to get from better to even worse as time passes by. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds until Roshan's minimum timer. And with Unity, if they're able to secure that Roshan for themselves. Oh. Let's see if we get there. Xiaoyu looks for the duel. He's found Rapido while they're locking down the Ursa. Ursa to die. MKS has been the first casualty of war for Unity, but they want XERXIA's Ken, very low on HP. Rolling Thunder, different direction. Naga Song coming out as well. Knight returning. Snowball comes out as well. Song has been cancelled. Aspen suddenly finds himself very alone. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to hide. Xiaoyu able to purge off.
Still alive.
And blinks away. They've also pinged out Ken's location, and Knight comes in, and that is an Ember gone as well. Wow, just outplayed. Just outplayed.
This last pick LC is so strong against their lineup. It's not even fair. Once he gets the level 20 talent, I don't know what you do. Really, there's not gonna be anything you can do. You're relying on these AoE stuns, AoE roots and stuff, and they're all gonna be taken away by the LC. It's just insane. So I'm very much afraid for XERXIA here. This last pick LC destroyed them completely and utterly. And even without the Ursa doing minimal amounts of damage in that fight, you still win. So it goes to show what's gonna happen once the Ursa gets his BKB off and jumps on you. Plus, we talked about the butterfly on the Naga Siren. The Ursa will have an MKB, so that one goes down the drain. And there isn't really an item that can replace it in strength. So this game is very soon gonna fall out of hand, and it is gonna be, as we mentioned, the second Roche is most likely gonna be the one that Unity used to end the game.
Yeah, and that is definitely a fight that they have to take outside of the base and look for it. Jing to die next. We are already breaking 200s on LC. Legion Commando's right-click damage is over 400. Screw your hard carries. You got an LC this huge.
He wants to kill the Ember as well. He went for the Halberd, even though realistically he didn't really need to do that. Doesn't need anything to break the Lincolns. He can just continue killing the Naga and the Lesh.
Yep.
But he's like, okay, this Ember is being annoying with the split push. I want to take that away from them as well. And then XERXIA really they don't have any more plays. They're gonna have to go for team fights, which 99 out of 100 they're gonna lose in a straight up 5 versus 5.
And a very, very strong Ursa when you look at that MKB timing. Already with the Basher, Battle Fury, and the BKB.
There is a big thing coming up though, Panda. It is the Ags on the Disruptor. You do have a Naga on your side. I would say if I was this Naga, you buy a Blink. Just buy a Blink if you're Asta.
Oh, hell yeah. It does come down to like initiating for sure. Like if you get a good Disruptor ulti when they get nothing off, winnable. Anything is winnable.
Yeah, it is winnable. You jump in with the Nyx, you give vision on multiple heroes, you use the sleep, jump in, get it on 2-3 heroes, get a nice static storm, and then just kill them. The AoE damage of XERXIA is still pretty high.
Nyx was just able to get a ward placed down, sneaking behind enemy lines, but that Rolling Thunder does not connect on him. However, Ember, it does look like he's also fine. I also want to look at what does Ursa decide to build next? I think this is where you either upgrade your Abyssal or start to consider your Axe.
I think Swift Blink or Abyssal. You need those before. You'll get the shards from the Roche. You're pretty much confident in that once. You don't want to be spending 1400 gold for nothing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think Abyssal does make a lot of sense.
Abyssal could definitely work.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Bit of lockdown at least. Not as if they were already dying. Here an LC duel on the side. Caught Jing.
Are you done?
262.
Very systematically, Unity are taking away every single chance for XERXIA to win this game. Okay, we've taken down the possibility from the Ember to split push. Now they get the gem. We've taken down the possibility of you having vision over us, even using the Nyx Assassin. And now the only thing that is left is countering the Disruptor Ags, and that's what you do with the Tusk BKB. Salad gets the BKB, he stays out of the fight. Even if there is a song and stuff, you pop the BKB, you jump into the Static Storm, you snowball people out, and there's nothing left for XERXIA. So I feel like it's now or never for them to go for it.
Pretty much. I do wanna I wanna do actually bear some sad news to all of you people in Twitch chat. Unfortunately, our LC cannot hit 322 dual damage this game because you only get 38 per dual victory, so it's not possible anymore. However,
And the bearer of bad news.
that is the shard for Ursa. After shock, earth shock even, earth shock and rage. He's actually gone for the yeah. I really like that level 15 talent where earth shock applies to furious wipes. It just scales so well.
Yeah, it definitely does. Right now, only one thing left for XERXIA. You have the split push with the Naga Siren, and you hope that your Ember isn't gonna be caught. You want to give away your Nyx Assassin every single time, and hope that it's gonna force your enemies to make a mistake. That's what you do. That was a beautiful remnant though from the Ember, just destroying that smoke. That was the smoke that Unity Gaming wanted to use to break apart the game and actually go to the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
MKS already leading the troops towards and maybe through this mid lane. Top is being pushed out, and so is bottom. So making sure of that. Knight clearing out all these Naga illusions out of the way. They are pinging the bottom tier 2 tower, though, that there's probably a defender around this area. Xiaoyu not too far away either. Jaja with the TP back home.
He gets out. DLC now does have the Ether Lens, so it's 525 cast range duel. That's actually insane.
Radiant's top tower
That's
is
pretty
under
nuts.
siege.
T-Panda, I don't see much chance for XERXIA here. They are doing what they need to do, but Unity Gaming are just playing so well that I don't think they're putting themselves in a spot where they can make a mistake.
I think I don't want to be well, I don't want to be a doomsayer in this case, but it did feel like this game was kind of already over during the draft. Execution-wise, yeah. So here we see Searing Chains is not dispellable with your Earth Shock and Rage. So that's a myth busted, and so is a Jing Nyx Assassin busted as well. Rolling Thunder, rolling around in the base. Knight will catch Rapido with a stun. Get a follow-up as well. Charger being killed off. MKS takes down Rapido. Another web flies in. They've got themselves Asta. And now targeting the Naga Siren. And look at that damage. It's just unbelievable how fast they burst through a Naga with a heart and a Scotty. 4,000 HP gone in a matter of seconds. MKS does get another heal off of Xiaoyu. The LC protecting his buddy. MKS will live thanks to the regeneration.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
Yeah, he went for the Scotty. I really wanted for it to be a blink. It doesn't change anything if you have 3 or 4k HP, you still die. The difference is in 1 or 2 hits, which isn't even a half a second. So yeah, he went for the stats, he went for something he felt comfortable with, and it's just not gonna work out.
Second lane of racks being targeted. Versus Blink Dagger constantly cancelled. He does have a swift blink and he could just jump the backline, but he's focusing on objectives now. Finally going on the Disruptor, gets Yule's up into the air, and Rage is available, and he still has an Aegis as well. He's gonna be jumping straight on top of the Ember Spirit, and Ken about to fall, and Ken will die. Ken coming in with the buyback, looking for the kill. They will take down the Aegis. Knight still has a roll up and the Rolling Thunder, and now running away with it. Ursa gonna get stunned up, and Rage in 13 seconds. You got the backline, Ken trying to snipe down heroes, trying to keep them away. At least Knight very low on HP on the Pango, and MKS just takes down the Nyx Assassin, tears him apart 1 foot at a time, and takes that Insectoid down back into its watery grave. Lich taken down, LW will die. Asta versus MKS, and MKS, he's still got 3 observers nearby him. The stun comes out, takes down Asta, and finally the big bear has been felled, and looking for the full-on team wipe. XERXIA with big buybacks. They hold for now. It's only a matter of time.
It's 3 buybacks, but you're still in the game, so there is still hope. If you manage to outpush the waves right now, which isn't going to be easy without the Naga Siren, but you still have the Ember and the Lesh, you can set up for a fight closer to the enemy base. Still, the big problem I think for XERXIA right now is that their ability to split push and push out the waves relies on the fact that the LC was dead, and that is the first hero that's coming back to life, so you're still gonna have to be very careful.
Yeah, you definitely do. I was just about to say, should Ember build something like a Hex, but he builds an E-Blade. Guess we're looking at an Ember who wants to save his allies as well. More tools to control the fights.
It's about kiting the Ursa, it seems like. With all of their items, that's what they want to do. They need to make sure that this hero isn't attacking. If Ursa is attacking, your heroes are just dying. That's the way it is. You cannot stop the duel. That is something that is always going to go through, and you are going to be losing a hero. But at least you can stop the Ursa from slaughtering everyone.
338 dual damage LC. What's the highest amount of dual damage you've had on LC in a game?
That I have had?
That you have had. Do you remember?
Oh, I haven't played this hero for a long time. I played it a lot in the meta where people will go for a spirit vessel and stuff like that for utility items. So I'd say it's not over 200 for sure.
Interesting. The highest I've had is like somewhere in the 500s. That was probably when they made some of those reworks. That was actually a couple of years ago when they made some small reworks to the talent system on the LC and how much dual damage you can get. It felt like it ramped up really fast when you hit level 25, and that's when it started to change. Asta, Song catches 4. They've got the entire team except for the Pango, and interruption comes. You've got Salad on the tusk with a BKB. They look for the LC, they've got the list. The duel comes out as well. They're going to be taking down the Nyx Assassin. 2 heroes gone. Buyback coming in for the Lich as well, and the Ember Spirit controlled and killed, and that's a dieback on him as well. And that should be game at this point. We'll see what XERXIA can still do with 2 heroes, but that was a quick, decisive blow. He's still got Asta trying to cut the creep wave here with his Shadow Blade. MKS is making his moves towards, but no Blink Dagger, and Xiaoyu was also nearby, but no TP cancel on this LC. A few seconds of time bought at least.
There it is, the BKB jump into the Static Storm. You set up everything for that one. You have the Axe on the Disruptor, and suddenly a Tusk with a BKB makes it useless. Completely useless. Jumps in there, the heroes inside of the Static Storm possibly would have died, and this game would have been looking different, but now it's looking very much over. With 2 heroes, you cannot do anything, especially given the fact that the LC can just jump on one of them and kill them solo.
Yeah. And sometimes that is just the price that you pay. You made a bit of a gamble there with that Disruptor. Fortunately, it does not lead into a successful victory. There goes your top lane of Rax, and Xiaoyu, the big LC. We got another song from Asta. This is the final fight. the last battle. The Disruptor ulti is there. Asta already getting stunned. Lich ulti coming in as well. Rapido and both the Asta Naga Siren are tanking it at the current time. You've got the Ursa coming in with his BKB enraged up and cleaning house, calling the GG, and puts an end to this game.
And what a good game from Unity. From start, from their draft, the last pick was amazing. Understanding of what they need to do, how they need to do it, just systematically going for objective to objective, then seeing the items of the enemies, itemizing properly against that as well, and then getting to a point where whatever happens, unless you're like hugging each other, all 5 of you, and you get slept, there is no way that you lose a fight. So it's just beautifully done. From items to movements to the draft, everything was just on point, and just a clear game from them this time around, even better than the last time. And I can't really pinpoint one thing. Okay, these guys did this strong. And XERXIA, they weren't an easy opponent. They understood their strengths. They played around the mid lane. They got that tower down. They delayed the roach. They did everything in their power. In the end, it wasn't good enough.
It wasn't good enough indeed, but it was a valiant battle. I think we saw some good things from XERXIA, like here and there, but just not a full complete package. I think that's still something that XERXIA is going to be building on for the next few days and see what they can come up with. The idea is definitely there. I could see Ken having a good game on his through his mid. Can definitely be a game changer, maybe even a game winner for this team. So we'll see if he can keep up his performances in the future games. But without further ado, since we have very limited break times as well, we will be heading over to our final series in a few minutes. Which one did we have, actually? I believe we had Spawn versus Lilgun, if I remember correct. So pretty interesting stuff. Spawn's roster, full Indo roster with Womi and the boys. See what they can come up with against Lilgun. And of course,